Hello everybody, this is me, MC Gamer, now tuned back on into another Zelda collection video. Today we're going to be looking at The Legend of Zelda for Game Boy Advance, part of the classic NES series that they released on Game Boy Advance back around the year 2004. This is part of their first wave of classic NES remixes that they did. I'm going to remove this from my protective case. I don't remember the exact site that I got these cases from, but they're really useful for storing Game Boy Advance games, and they're really nice. So shout outs to whatever website that is. So as you can see here, here's the box art. I'll give you a full 360. Full text there. You can read that by pausing the video if you want to. And the bottom. Excellent. So the thing about this is that this was also one of the first times that Nintendo had started doing re-releases of some of their games. They've done re-releases before, and the year before this, in 2003, they did release the Zelda Collector's Edition, which we'll feature in a later episode, which had The Legend of Zelda on it. But this is the second time that they re-released this after Zelda Collector's Edition. So this is a very, very cool piece of memorabilia, in my opinion. It's a really cool game. We can't open the box. This is a pre-opened copy, so that's not damaging the value or anything like that. And as you can see here, we have all the original packaging. I'll try to angle this camera down just a touch, actually. There we go, that's better. So I have all the original packaging in here, including the instruction booklet, the health and safety precautions booklet that came with every Game Boy game. Here is the actual instruction booklet, and very cool in this is it does include the full story of The Legend of Zelda. It's actually on 2 pages. And I don't know if you guys want to read that text, you're free to. You can pause the video, of course. And also, what's something interesting is this is the second time that upon the re-release of the original Legend of Zelda, they started spelling Ganon with only 2 N's rather than the 3 that was inside the original Legend of Zelda release. And that was, I don't know if it was due to a mistranslation, because I believe it was still Ganon inside the Japanese version as well with 3 N's. And so it's a very basic manual. It features adventuring tips, tells you about the different items that you can get. So you know about the magic clock, power bracelet, the red and blue rings. And this gives you a lot of information, which is really useful for maybe your first time playing the game. I recently did a full playthrough of this game on stream, and it was really fun. It also includes several pages of hints and tips. Pole's voice hate loud noises. Do you have an item that can make noise? Unfortunately, the whistle actually doesn't work on Pole's voice. So that's interesting, because inside the original Legend of Zelda, you defeat Pole's voice enemies by using the in microphone on Famicom on the controller. There was a microphone on the controller. Here's an entire page all about the Triforce and telling you about collecting it. And some more final advice, which tells you all about the game and includes some very cool illustrations, which are in color, I believe, in other places, but inside this manual they are only in black and white. Also included, it is an advertisement for the Game Boy Player, which is a device where you can play Game Boy games on your TV using your GameCube. I use that very often, especially during Zeldathon. Full information, as well as an advertisement for the Game Boy Advance SP. A PIN number. I believe this one's already been registered, but if you want it, you are free to try to take it. And this is a registration for My Nintendo. This is before it was known as Club Nintendo, and it does give advertisements all about Nintendo Power Magazine, which was still around at that time, and also an additional advertisement for further classic series games, including Super Mario Bros. And Donkey Kong, as well as the other ones that are coming: Excite Bike, Super Mario Bros., Bomberman, Pac-Man, Ice Climber, and Xavius. And also, it does show off the classic limited edition NES Game Boy Advance SP, which I really wanted, but unfortunately I never got. It's original security seal still on it. And, of course, here's the game itself. As you can see, in a very cool limited line, they did use a gray case as opposed to the original black that they used for most Game Boy Advance games after that. They used the gray for the classic NES series. And it's very cool. I am a huge fan of the classic NES series stuff. I don't usually play them because there are better versions of the game, but I thought that what they did was really excellent in re-releasing the games. Let me slip this back in here. And I do have something else to show you today, which was they did a second line of classic NES series games. I'll reseal that later. And that was, included within that is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. So, again, let me just take it out of its seal. Ugh. Now this one, the second line was released still in 2004, it appears, reading the copyright. Let's see, let's get it out here. It features what I believe is a longer text description. Yeah, it features a longer text description on the back of the game. Go ahead and pause the video if you want to read that. And it's going to be by the book standard, the same grade cartridge and everything. I still have all the original manual and stuff. Again, advertisement for Game Boy Player. But what I wanted to see is if it is a considerably thicker instruction manual for a good reason. So here is, let me see if I can get there. These pages haven't been turned in a while. The story to The Adventure of Link is actually extremely long. So we got 4 pages here rather than the original 2. And this tells a lot about what happened between the original Legend of Zelda and Adventure of Link, including basically a new Princess Zelda, or the Princess Zelda from this game fell into a deep sleep, and a new Link actually comes to rescue her. Or actually, no, it's the same Link. It is the same Link. I'm sorry. And also, here's some artwork of Link actually saying things. And he says, "When I have no more lives left, that's the end of me." And it's actually interesting because Adventure of Link was also the first Zelda game where Link actually spoke. I believe he says something about seeing something under the table. Or, "I can get into the fireplace," something along those lines. And yeah, it features pretty much standard what was inside the other one. Information about the items. And I believe some tips and tricks. Oh, and it includes a notes page. This is something that a lot of old games had inside their manuals that I really liked. It was useful for when you're playing the game if you wanted to jot down some notes really quickly about, you know, where things are. And there we go. That is my feature on the classic NES series Game Boy Advance games, both Adventure of Link and The Legend of Zelda. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next Zelda collection video. Be sure to submit any suggestions you have for our next video inside my comments. Thanks.